Here's a shocking truth that most cycling fans won't admit. The men's individual time trial at this year's UCI Road World Championships in Rwanda might just crown the most unexpected champion in recent memory. While everyone's obsessing over the usual suspects, September 22nd's elite men's time trial promises to shatter predictions and rewrite the rulebook on what makes a world-class time trialist. Taking place just hours after the women's event, this 40.6-kilometer battle through central Kigali represents something far more intriguing than your typical flat, power-based time trial. But here's where it gets controversial. The course design has already scared away some of cycling's biggest names, including Italy's Filippo Ganna, who took one look at those rolling climbs and decided to skip the entire event. Smart move or cowardly retreat? You decide. The race begins in dramatic fashion inside Kigali's impressive 10,000-seat BK Arena, featuring an indoor starting ramp that adds theatrical flair to the proceedings. From there, riders face a demanding journey south, tackling the notorious Côte de Nyanza climb during an out-and-back section that will separate the pretenders from the contenders. The course's most brutal challenge comes in the final act, a punishing 2-kilometer ascent called the Côte de Piège, with merely 7 kilometers remaining. As if that wasn't enough punishment, the route concludes with another climb via the Côte de Kimihurura, finishing outside the Kigali Convention Center, where dreams will either be realized or crushed. This hilly terrain explains why traditional powerhouse time trialists are avoiding Rwanda like the plague, opening the door for climbing specialists who can maintain aerodynamic positions on gradients. The wide roads might look inviting, but don't be fooled. This course demands a rare combination of sustained power, climbing prowess, and time trial technique. Most cycling pundits expect a 2-horse race between Belgium's Remco Evenepoel and Slovenia's Tadej Pogačar. But recent performances from Vuelta a España participants could completely upend these predictions. Remco Evenepoel, the pressure cooker champion Evenepoel, arrives in Rwanda carrying the enormous weight of expectation as the defending world champion, having previously claimed victory in Zurich by defeating Ganna with a commanding 12-second margin. The Belgian sensation is hunting his 3rd consecutive world title, which would cement his status as the era's dominant time trial specialist. His palmarès in the discipline speaks volumes. Beyond his current world title, Evenepoel claimed junior world championship honors in Innsbruck back in 2018 and has reached the podium on 3 additional occasions at senior level. This consistency demonstrates his ability to peak for cycling's biggest moments. Earlier this season, Evenepoel delivered a masterclass performance during the Tour de France's opening time trial stage, obliterating an in-form Pogačar by 16 seconds across a flat 33-kilometer course. However, his Tour campaign ended in disappointment when fatigue forced him to abandon the race after struggling in the mountain time trial stage. Following an altitude training camp in Livigno, the Belgian returned to competition at the Tour of Britain, where he simultaneously confirmed his blockbuster transfer from Soudal Quickstep to Red Bull Bora-Hansgrohe beginning in 2026. Despite winning the Tour's most challenging Welsh stage, questions linger about his current condition and whether he can deliver when it matters most. But here's the million-dollar question. Will Rwanda's time trial serve as the definitive test of whether Evenepoel possesses the form necessary to achieve the coveted time trial and road race double? Tadej Pogačar, the unpredictable phenomenon. Counting out Pogačar would be cycling's equivalent of betting against magic itself. The Slovenian superstar lacks Evenepoel's pure aerodynamic efficiency and time trial specialization, yet somehow manages to produce otherworldly performances whenever he clips into his pedals. Pogačar's resume reads like a fantasy novel. 4 Tour de France victories and triumphs in cycling's most prestigious one-day classics. His ability to generate comparable power output to dedicated time trial specialists while maintaining this diverse success rate defies conventional wisdom about athletic specialization. The 25-year-old has openly declared his ambition to secure the World Championship double, encompassing both time trial and road race titles. His decision to even participate in the time trial signals supreme confidence. Pogačar wouldn't waste energy on an event he didn't believe he could win. Admittedly, his World Championship time trial record appears modest, with 6th place in Wollongong 2022 representing his strongest result. However, Rwanda's challenging topography transforms everything, potentially neutralizing the aerodynamic advantages that typically favor pure time trial specialists. And this is the part most people miss. Pogačar spent his summer break specifically training on his time trial bike, suggesting a level of preparation that shouldn't be underestimated. After returning to racing in Canada, he's demonstrated the tactical intelligence and physical condition that could make him Evenepoel's most dangerous rival. Australia's dynamic duo, Vine and Plapp. Australia enters Rwanda with 2 legitimate medal contenders whose contrasting paths to the World Championships highlight the diverse routes to time trial excellence. Jay Vine and Luke Plapp represent different philosophies in race preparation, yet both possess the specific skill sets that Rwanda's hilly course demands. Plapp received a late call-up to the Tour de France after completing the Giro d'Italia, where he claimed a stage victory that announced his arrival as a Grand Tour threat. His Tour performances were nothing short of impressive. 9th place in the flat time trial, followed by 5th in the mountainous Périgueux stage against the clock. These results provide compelling evidence that Plapp combines traditional time trial technique with the climbing ability essential for success in Kigali. His recent altitude training in Andorra has left him appearing fresh, motivated, and genuinely ambitious about his medal prospects. Meanwhile, Vine arrives direct from the Vuelta a España, where he captured 2 stage victories and the mountains classification while supporting João Almeida's overall ambitions. Logic suggests he should be exhausted after such demanding efforts, yet his current form remains undeniably exceptional. Vine's credentials as a former Australian national time trial champion demonstrate his technical proficiency, particularly his ability to maintain aerodynamic positions during climbing sections. His narrow defeat to Ganna in the Vuelta's 12-kilometer Valladolid time trial, losing by mere hundredths of a second, proves he can compete with the sport's elite specialists. If Vine can channel his current form while maintaining focus despite fatigue, he possesses the explosive potential to disrupt the anticipated Evenepoel-Pogačar showdown. Isaac Del Toro, Mexico's wild card. Here's a controversial take that might anger cycling traditionalists. Mexico's Isaac Del Toro could be the race's most dangerous outsider, despite lacking proven World Championship credentials in time trials. Del Toro's recent Italian campaign reads like pure dominance. Victories at GP Industria Artigianato, Giro della Toscana, Coppa Sabatini, and Trofeo Mariotti within a single week. Add his memorable Giro d'Italia performance, and you have a rider whose current form transcends normal expectations. Critics will argue that maintaining aerodynamic positions across 40 kilometers represents his biggest challenge. But Del Toro's climbing prowess and pressure-resistant mentality could prove decisive factors. Sometimes raw form trumps technical perfection, and this young Mexican talent embodies that philosophy perfectly. France's contrasting approaches, experience versus youth. France arrives with 2 fascinating representatives who embody completely different stages of cycling development. Bruno Armorel and Paul Seixas offer contrasting styles that provide French cycling with multiple strategic options. Armorel represents the archetypal time trial specialist, a powerful rouleur with the physical attributes, technical skills, and mental approach required for success against the clock. His current status as French national champion, earned by defeating Kevin Vauquelin and Seixas in June, confirms his domestic superiority. The 31-year-old veteran completed both the Tour de France and Vuelta a España this summer, securing fourth-place finishes in time trial stages at Cannes and Valladolid. His recent contract signing with Visma Lease Bike for 2026 has provided additional motivation and confidence. Conversely, Seychelles represents French cycling's future potential. At just 18 years old, he claimed Junior World Championship honors in Zurich last year before proving his exceptional talent at senior level through impressive performances at the Tour of the Alps and Critérium du Dauphiné, where he finished 8th overall. His recent Tour de l'Avenir victory, highlighted by wins in both the opening Tignes prologue and final 10-kilometer mountain time trial, demonstrates remarkable versatility for someone his age. Following altitude training, Seychelles will also compete in the road race alongside Julien Alaphilippe and Valentin Madouas. But here's where it gets interesting. Could this teenager's fearless approach and current form actually outshine his experienced compatriot's technical superiority? Spain's rising star, Iván Romeo. Iván Romeo exemplifies Spain's exciting next generation, alongside talents like Juan Ayuso and Pablo Torres. His rapid ascension from World Tour newcomer in 2023 to World Championship contender showcases the accelerated development possible in modern cycling. Romeo's 2024 Under-23 time trial world title victory occurred before UCI rule changes prevented World Tour riders from competing at lower categories, making him technically the final champion in that format. His Tour de France debut featured a 7th-place finish in the Cannes time trial, plus 4 separate attacking efforts during road stages, demonstrating tactical intelligence beyond his years. His current status as Spanish road race national champion confirms his diverse abilities and suggests Rwanda's challenging course could suit his skill set perfectly. Italy's alternative plan, Matteo Sobrero, with Ganna's absence creating a significant gap in Italian expectations. Matteo Sobrero carries the responsibility of representing cycling's most successful nation. His connection to Ganna, as both close friend and potentially future brother-in-law, adds personal motivation to professional duty. Sobrero's 2021 Italian Time Trial Championship victory over Edoardo Affini and Mattia Cattaneo demonstrated his ability to deliver in pressure situations. The varied topography of Rwanda's course should favor his racing style over pure power specialists. Interestingly, Cattaneo will also represent Italy across multiple disciplines, time trial, mixed relay, and road race, before joining Evenepoel at Red Bull Bora-Hansgrohe in 2026, creating additional storylines within the Italian camp. Switzerland's determined warrior, Stefan Kung. Kung's decision to compete despite Rwanda's challenging terrain perfectly embodies Swiss determination and national pride. While the hilly course doesn't favor his traditional strengths, his Vuelta a España participation has provided the endurance base necessary for a competitive performance. His strategy will likely involve careful pacing during climbing sections, followed by aggressive acceleration on descents, maximizing his power advantages where the course permits. USA's quiet contender, Magnus Sheffield, with notable American riders like Brandon McNulty choosing to skip the World Championships, Sheffield carries increased responsibility for U.S. cycling. His Vuelta participation and previous results, 13th in last year's Worlds and 16th at the Paris Olympics, suggest steady improvement in the discipline. The absence of several top competitors and Rwanda's unique course characteristics could provide Sheffield with an opportunity to achieve a career-best result, potentially reaching the top 10 or higher. Now here's the controversial question that will define this race. In an era where cycling increasingly rewards specialization, could Rwanda's unique course actually favor the well-rounded riders over the pure time trial specialists? And if traditional powerhouses like Ganna are avoiding challenging courses, are we witnessing a fundamental shift in what defines World Championship-worthy racing? What do you think? Will Evenepoel's experience prove decisive, or could Pogačar's unpredictable brilliance steal the show? And don't sleep on those dark horses who might just surprise everyone. The answer awaits in Kigali, where cycling's most prestigious time trial title will be decided on terrain unlike any world championship course in recent memory.